We're here to self-replicate today. In 1984, I designed the National Headquarters for Environmental Defense Fund, and we started looking at materials, and first thing I encountered is VOCs. Only recently have I discovered, most people still don't know what a VOC is. It's a volatile organic compound. Recently I discovered I am a VOC. Anyway, the question of the planet is that we have photosynthesis and we have ancient dirt, and then we have this black dirt. And we've got a problem because we talk about carbon as our enemy. Please stop doing that. If you guys don't like carbon, you got to shoot yourself, dry up, and blow away. Because you are carbon, okay? We don't have an energy problem. Get over it. We have a material problem. We have carbon in the wrong place, the atmosphere. A material in the wrong place is otherwise known as a toxin, okay? So carbon in the atmosphere is toxic. Remember, it's supposed to be going to soil. Remember that? Yeah. So we got plenty of carbon, and we burn it, about the dumbest thing we could possibly think of to do. We turn an asset into a liability. This is not an economic model that makes any sense whatsoever if we stop and think about it. So Michael Braungart and I decided to create a fulcrum. When Archimedes has been misquoted in major newspapers, they say, give me a lever and a place to stand and I can move the world. You can't do anything with a lever and a place to stand. It's to poke at stuff, right? You got to have a fulcrum. Hello? You need the thing that does not move. What is the thing that does not move? That's what we've been looking for. And so we've released the Cradle to Cradle certification program into the public. And this week, it's officially now version 3 in the public domain in an institute in San Francisco. And what we're looking at is the thing from which we can get our guidance and have our grounding. And it's not just healthy materials. That's very important, obviously. But we see materials as nutrients. They're actually positives. They are nutrients. So we have biological and technical nutrients. That is that kind of unique distinction that we're bringing to the story, that there's a biology and there's technology. And we can design things into these metabolisms. So is lead a good or a bad? Anybody? Poor little lead. So maligned. Lead doesn't know. We put it in the biosphere, neurotoxin. You put it in a technical cycle that's continuously contained and never released to the biosphere, technical nutrient, you see? Now we have to look at the mining and we have to look at the water. There's so many things to look at. But we have to look at these materials as something we can use over and over again. And we got to stop talking about just life cycles of stuff, end of life of whatever, That's not alive. Really, go talk to it, see if it responds. These are not living things. That's why it's not cradle to grave. We're not these human projections. No, we have use periods. Think that way. See? So that's reutilization. So we need reverse logistics. We want to know how to get it out there and how to get it back for continuous benefit without toxifying the biosphere, et cetera. We want to use 100% renewable power. Period. Get it? It's like that. Right? All the rest of it is noise. The rest is noise. We want water stewardship. We've designed textile mills where the water coming out is so clean you can drink it. It's cleaner than Swiss drinking water. When you see all these eco standards saying reduce your water consumption per unit of production, well then what did we do? Release the toxins as a syrup? The river's still black. The fish are dead and the children can't swim. And we pour goop instead of liquid. We need new chemistries. We need to get very wise now. And we want to do this because this is fundamentally a question of social justice. Thomas Jefferson In Charlottesville, Virginia, where I come from, I lived in a house designed by Jefferson. If you look at his tombstone, it says 3 things. Thomas Jefferson, author of the Declaration of American Independence, the Statute of Virginia for Religious Freedom, which became the Bill of Rights, and father of the University of Virginia. That is it. He talks about his legacies, not his activities. No mention of being president twice. We're not talking about our jobs. We're talking about what it is we leave behind by design. And the Declaration of Independence was a declaration calling for freedom from remote tyranny. And here we are, 7 generations later, and we're talking about us tyrannizing the next 7 generations. These are issues of social justice. So what is quality? I was born in Japan. I got to watch Deming. I even knew W. Edwards Deming before he died. And the whole idea of total quality management, I think, was misnomer, unfortunately. Because actually, he was a statistician. It might have been better called total quantity management. And the problem when you start with metrics is it's very hard to get to values. You can go from metrics to tactics to strategies to goals, 20% reduction of carbon by 2020. Oh, what did you just do? You just told me what you're not. Huh? What if you went in a store and got a jar of brown goop and it said, not peanut butter? Is this useful? You're telling us what you're not. Huh? Are you nuclear? Or what if I look at the jar and it says, plutonium-free peanut butter? Huh? Really? So just give it to me without the extras or the nothingness, you see? So really, total quantity management, that's not going to do it for us. We have values to express. So we're not here just to reduce carbon. Look at this ad by a major automobile company, Toyota. Really, aim, 0 emissions. And it's a picture of a tree. You must be kidding. It's emitting oxygen, thank goodness. What do you mean 0 emissions? We want positive emissions. Emit birds, emit flowers, emit music. Emit soil, emit cool air, I don't care, distill water. What are you talking about, 0 emissions? 0? Is your goal 0, everybody? Then leave this room. You don't want to be here, and neither do your children, because you're going to leave them with nothing. So, why are all the CSR reports look like this? I'll be less bad. As if being less bad is being good. It is not. Less and bad are not numbers that get multiplied. Less is a relationship, and bad is a human value. So you are bad by definition, just less so. All right? So that's what we do. Businesses hate charts that go down to the right, except for the expense recording, the accountants. Down to the right? You must be kidding. We want growth. Right? So let's put the bad where it belongs, down below the line. And now our trajectory is positive because it's up to the right towards 0. Hallelujah, it's the stuff we don't want. Okay? And let's upcycle this thing. The next book, I just finished writing the next book. It's called The Upcycle. It's the levers that we put on this fulcrum. It's the thing that takes us up together. The world gets better because we're here. Not less bad. So why don't we have trajectories of goodness and our goals become 100% good? And then we've got to think beyond locally and globally. We need to start thinking, as I've been accused of acting and thinking, think galactically, act molecularly. All sustainability, of course, is local. And I'm not that interested in sustainability, really. As I pointed out, if I said, what's your relationship to your wife or husband, and you said sustainable, so sad. No wonder people don't take this up. It's like, give me a mop. This is maintenance. Yay! Really. So what if we upcycled everything? What if humans became tools of nature instead of talking about nature as our capital or nature as our tool and so on? What if we said we're part of it and we're going to make things better? Let's go better. So you look at the planet. You have atmosphere. You have ecosystems. We have products. we have molecules. What if the whole planet got better? And what was our filter, that intellectual filter, that black chart that's a comb that says, leave this out and let this in? And let's just reject stuff we don't want. Sure, this is hard to do. we're going to screw things up. But let's get them toward the positive. Let's take cities like this one that we help with in China. In city, imagine a city like a farm. How about Paris with farms on the roof? How about cities that make food and oxygen? Then some gentleman sent me this picture 2 years later and said, saw your picture, cool idea. Feeds me and 2 other families. Thank you very much. All right, so we're now looking at what it means for cities to grow their own food. And if we start upcycling the planet and we start to think about buildings as we do in this conference, well then what would buildings look like? Environmental Defense Fund, 1984, where we looked at VOCs and started asking all these questions. We were alone for 5 years. It's the first green office in New York, right? I mean, who knew? And today, we have a developer who will join us in a minute. We're doing a project in the Netherlands. The whole thing will be energy positive. The materials are cradle to cradle where possible. It's just a real thrill to watch how many things we can do that end up with material passports and material banking. We know where it comes from. We know where it goes. We're doing our best. That's all we can do, is constantly improve and share. And I had some chemical executives in my office in Charlottesville, and while they were getting ready for me to come, I was outside making tea, and I could overhear my people saying, Bill, you gotta watch out for Bill, because pessimists think the glass is half full, half empty, and optimists think it's half full, but Bill thinks it's always full of water and air. Both essential. Hello? Why would I celebrate the emptiness, except in a Zen way, of the emptiness of the vessel is its utility? But it's always full, too, you see. So my problem is I just don't think glass is big enough. I'm a designer. I can't help it. So how do we upcycle the planet? What happens when we get to products? Well, we see things as biological or technical nutrients and metabolisms. We have these criteria. We worry about human health. We worry about environmental health. These are 20 years we've been working on this, and we worry about production process, and we've rated chemicals so that we can figure out what to do. And the fundamental question of that filter on human products is stop accruing toxins in mother's milk. Let's get on with this thing. So how do we do this? This is not easy. This is not easy. We have to encourage people, and we have to do it together. This has to be a commercially viable operation with real science and intelligence, and we can bring the precautionary principle to bear. And we can ask companies if they want to join us, and here are some that have. And I'd like to ask Paul Murray, formerly of Herman Miller, now Vice President of Sustainability for Shaw Industries, largest carpet maker in the world, who's been working with Cradle to Cradle for many years. And I'd like to have 3 speakers from industry who have been doing this for a very long time. And Paul will join us and begin the dialogue.